Know what the market's doing? Well, this is your March 2023 real estate market forecast for Santa Cruz County. Now, remember, I don't actually talk about nationwide trends as much because they don't really matter. Things are happening out in the world and there's a lot of general reports, but I like to talk about what's happening here. So I'm going to go over a few statistics, tell you what I'm seeing, and then a little story time. So right off the bat, we are starved for listings. We need inventory. It has actually gone down. Today, 189 active listings, single family homes, Santa Cruz County. That is, that's just not even enough for like literally a whole month or a little bit over a month of inventory. If the buyers came in right now, they would buy up everything. That's just crazy. New listings last week were 29. Today is 36. So we got 6 more, but the active inventory actually shrank still. Price reductions last week, 10. Today there was 12. I'm going to go over that in my time and money segment. Pending and contingent last week was 22. Today, 37. This week, just transaction canceled, 1. Today, 6. Well, I can tell you where that is coming from. That'll also be in the time and money section. And then sold last week, 19. This week, 21. Now, remember, I always talk about how the end of the month you see the sales actually close because they tend to close at the end of the month. Expired and canceled last week was 8 were canceled or expired, and then this week was 5, so we're down 3 on that, but that's just lower inventory indications. That means really I expect nothing. Active inventory 196 last week, this week 189. Sorry, I'm turning and looking a lot, but I just, these statistics are hot off the presses. So let me tell you a little bit about time or money. So I have been talking to my sellers. We've got a few listings coming on early summer, late spring. And that was more because of logistics and things that needed to happen with the property and get ready to move for those sellers. That was just things that were happening already in their lives, not really timing the market. But I had a conversation with a seller yesterday and I said, you know what? We talked about you going on in May and I still stand by that. Right now, just literally a couple minutes ago, it was pouring rain. It's still snowing in some parts of our county as late as Monday night. That is just insane. That puts a kibosh. Really, the sellers don't want people tromping through their house, with wet footsteps and, tromping stuff in, and they've got their house all ready to go, or they want to get it painted outside and they can't because it's raining, all the stuff that you want to do. Then there's the buyers. So think about this. I just told you how tight inventory was. There's still a lot of buyers coming in and just chewing off the last of those leftover properties that have just kind of been on for a while and for whatever reason didn't sell. Not that they weren't good, they just didn't sell, have gone into contract. The other buyers, the new buyers that come in the spring, kind of getting ready for the new year, they're going to wait. They're going to wait for the weather to be better. They don't want to go out on the roads. If they're coming from other areas, they don't want to travel in. Some of our roads are closed or even hard to get past. Those new buyers that come into the market, they're going to wait. So the conversation I had that I always talk about in my videos is time or money. So if you want to sell now, because of time, you need to go on the market, you need to sell, you may not make as much money as you would later in the spring, early summer. If you are worried about top dollar, that is your goal, then I recommend waiting. And I've been saying this, and now I'm going to say it even more because of the weather. Now, to make that extra, however much you want to make on your house, you're going to have to give it some time. So it's time or money. I also note that when you are going to sell a property as a seller, you have goals and you have things that you think about, and they don't always match what's going on in the market. So of course you have to do you. But at the same time, I would say to get top dollar at this point, despite the low inventory, I would wait for the sun to come out. I want to give you a little housing forecast from my in-house lender, guaranteed rate. He came on our call and he said that they expect lower inflation, a recession-like slowdown, but that doesn't hurt the real estate market. You can go look that up, but typically in recessions, real estate does very well because it is a kind of almost a known security. Incomes are increasing, and that will help affordability on housing. So maybe we're going to see that the prices go down a little bit. I actually really don't think so, but possibly, and incomes come up a little bit. So maybe that will ease a little bit in the real estate market. I honestly, sorry, don't think so. We are still in a very tight inventory environment, and we don't expect that to change a whole lot. Rents still are expensive and rising. And what I have noticed is that when people talk to me and they say, well, prices are going up, how can people afford it? And the interest rates are going up. And I'm like, well, have you seen rents lately? Those rental prices are starting to match mortgage payments, which we haven't really seen in these big, huge chunks. So we're going to drive some of the renters into the housing market because they're going to get, they're going to get a better tax incentive, and of course you make equity. So those are some things that we're seeing. Also, I wanted to tell just a brief little story. I wrote some offers for some buyers lately, and I want to tell you it is a difficult environment, and I just want you to know going in, you got to put on a little armor. You got to be a little ready. And I wasn't even prepared for how I got blindsided by a few situations, and that we were writing offers and being encouraged to write offers. Meanwhile, they were courting other offers and they never mentioned it. They were just like, oh yeah, write it up. Can't wait to see it. And then we write up the offer and they go, oh, we took another one. Anyway, the lesson for you in this, especially if you're a buyer, but even if you're a seller, great communication is really key. It makes things so much easier. But the other thing is, buyers, when you're going to look at properties, understand that you are not alone. You may be in the house alone with your agent, or you might even be at a quiet open house due to weather, but that doesn't mean that there isn't someone else circling going to write an offer. So that's my big tip for this week. You're not alone in real estate anymore. There are people out there, and you may not see them, but they are probably looking at the house that you're looking at and may get that offer right in underneath yours or after yours, and it might go a little sideways. These are things that we will see in tight inventory. I hope this was helpful for you. Hey, give me a call or text me or email me. I would love to hear from you and help you navigate this market, buying or selling. Don't forget to watch some of my videos on Instagram, where I put a lot of ocean and Santa Cruz videos of places that I just love, and they're so fun. Twitter, I post government and city and county events that affect us as Santa Cruz occupants. So go there for kind of news about Santa Cruz and city and county stuff. And then just check out my Facebook page for just lifestyle stuff. I would love to hear from you and hope to hear from you soon. Have a great week.